And hey, Andy, we got three guys talking about Lululemon now that Evelyn's gone. What are you guys seeing on the social sentiment side and your data from LikeFolio? What's it reflective of for Lululemon?
Yeah, the good news is that LikeFolio, we don't have to listen to Andy, Tom, and Kevin's opinion on Lululemon. We can actually listen in on the world's conversations. And what we're looking for are mentions in social media of people talking about purchasing Lululemon products. And what's cool about this is even though Lululemon's quarter doesn't end until November 1st, we see this data in real time, and you can see the furthest right bar, the shaded bar on the furthest right, that's the pace for the current quarter of consumer demand. And we're seeing that down 29% quarter over quarter, down 24% year over year. That sounds really bad. It's definitely not good, but it's also very much in line with what Lululemon already has told investors that its stores were experiencing. And so we see this quarter shaping up pretty much how the company had forecast. And so that's always interesting to know as you go in to the end of a quarter. It's very unlikely that Lululemon will surprise or make a pre-announcement in either direction. And that kind of information is very valuable for investors to know. So we see Lululemon purchase intent mentions down considerably, but right in line with what the company had kind of already told investors to expect.
Yeah, so Andy, I can add some personal experience to this. My lovely daughter, that you all know, bought me a Lululemon shirt for Father's Day, right? Early summer. It took me 3 times to go back to return it and get a different size, because every time you go there, you got to check in, you got to make an appointment, and it's a 2-hour wait to get in the place. So, and there's lines and people, I mean, they've had issues with their brick and mortar stores due to COVID of how many people can come in. It was a return simply for another size nightmare. And all I could think of was the inability for people to simply walk and browse in this store. Though, no matter how popular Lululemon is, has got to be affecting overall sales and the ability of people to just walk in and, treasure hunt and shop for Lululemon gear. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on that, Andy.
Yeah, I think that discovery is a big factor for Lululemon. I do think that they benefited from that in the past. Another thing that we really see dragging Lululemon down a little bit and creating a significant headwind that we will keep an eye on at LikeFolio is we look at these macro trends, and 2 macro trends that really stick out to me as being a headwind for Lululemon is that people talking about attending a group fitness class is down 51% year over year. And that's a big driver of people not only buying Lululemon type of products, but really having to buy new ones because they're in a group setting and they want to be seen in more stylish stuff. When you're working out at home, which is up 154% year over year, you really don't care that much about having the latest style on and looking your best. And so I think those are major headwinds for Lululemon that we will continue to watch, especially as we get into these winter months where, people they really want to get out of the house, but we've also got on the other side this threat of increased restrictions and so on as another coronavirus wave hits. And so we'll keep a close eye on that.
Yeah. Now, Andy, does any of your data, is it reflective of where you see the stock price? We've seen that pullback from the all-time highs just below $400 a share. Is your data still reflective of strong demand or outlook for the actual shares versus some of the decreasing data that you have?
Yeah, I was kind of afraid you'd ask me that because I have to give the most boring answer in history, and that is I think that Lululemon stock is priced pretty much where it should be compared to consumer demand. Wall Street kind of has the information in hand. We're going to be continuing to watch LikeFolio purchase intent mentions going forward for any significant shift, either up or down, that Wall Street may not see coming. But as of right now, everything that we see looks to be priced into the stock pretty fairly.